Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I've decided to ask the spirit of Mugwort for a message of guidance for us, and the 4 cards I received were success, traveling, and these 2 cards from the Lovers deck. And for our first card, success. So with this card, you see this person is celebrating. They're on top of the world, quite literally. And they're just in the moment. They're embracing this celebration, this reward they've received. So just understanding, like, to live in the moment, to be in this winning energy, to be grateful in whatever high time of your life you're in, or if this is on the way for you. This card talks a lot about just celebrating that moment, because everything comes in waves, everything changes. You're not always going to be in this feeling of excitement and joy and paradise and everything is going perfect. Like, in life, we feel all these different emotions, all these different experiences we have. So this card just tries to remind us, like, hey, when you are in these moments of success, when you are in these moments of celebration, just allow yourself to really go all in and truly experience what you have in that moment, what you're wanting for yourself in that moment, and that you've made it to that point in time. We all have times in our lives that we can celebrate whatever we have coming for us, or whatever we've been working hard towards. When we finally are able to receive that, it's important not to just take it for granted and not to just keep chasing after the next thing. Like, to truly realize, like, wow, like, I had this goal for myself, I had this dream for myself, and it's finally becoming a reality. Also, just enjoying that process of it, because it's easy after the streamers are gone, after the ride is over, to kind of get in this almost jaded feeling or low point of, like, oh, now what? So to just really allow yourself to embrace whatever goals you've accomplished, or even whatever plans you have for yourself, because it's easy to just be focused on the finish line when it's like, oh, you missed. I can't remember the saying exactly, but it's like how you have to, like, enjoy the walk on the way, like, stop and smell the roses, like, enjoy that moment as well, because obviously there is no permanent celebration. So while you're on top of the world, in those moments where things are going really well, just remember, like, to really stay in that moment and be grateful for it. And the next card we got was traveling. So we see this individual that's just heading towards this path through the mountain. And this card is kind of similar to this one in that it does mention, like, this individual knows that it's not about getting to this distant, far off place, that it's not about that end goal. The main focus is to enjoy the path itself. Like, this card speaks of, if you're just so caught up in getting to the destination, then what is there? What is there after that point of destination? If we were only focused on getting to that end goal, what do we do once we've completed everything? Once we've hit that space in our life? I'll see interviews with, like, well-known people, or, like, very successful people, that will talk about almost that depression that hits when you get everything you want. And it's like, you have to still be fulfilled with the process itself, with the journey itself, in order to be able to keep enjoying life. Because if you are getting to that point, it's like when authors get a really, like, their book makes it big, and then after that it's like, okay, now what do I do? Like, or they get worried, like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do that again. What if I'm not as successful or whatever? Or even like people who've had like one hit wonders, it's like you have to be able to realize you're more than whatever that one idea in your mind was, whatever that one goal you succeeded in, whatever that one hope you had for yourself. You expand far beyond that. It's just remembering to enjoy the journey itself. Because too, I mean, you even look in like a grand scale, like how sometimes when people get older, they start to lose hope in themselves or get discouraged about, like, well, I can't do this anymore, I can't do that anymore, or like feeling like, well, I'm not useful anymore, or, I'm past my prime, so I can't do X, Y, or Z. And if you just have that only mindset of like, I have to get to that end goal, or I want to only be in this parade, you're missing out that life doesn't have to be only about winning or only about this destination. Like, just every small process on the way is also just a part of the learning experience, a part of existence itself. I mean, we look at just in nature, you see it all the time. It's not like, you know, a squirrel is like, oh my gosh, I have to be fulfilled, I have to make something of myself. It's just sitting in the moment, eating, enjoying his food, not really worrying about like, oh gosh, I have to do this or that. Or even you look at children, it's not like they're like, oh no, I need to hurry up and grow up so I can become a lawyer or so I can help save the world or something. It's just being able to sit in these moments and to just be content with yourself and where you're at and the journey itself is going to help you, one, embrace these moments where you're just on top of the world, high on life, and in the moments when the party's over and you're having to clean up, you're having to go back to your day-to-day life, you're back to a more lower energy of existence, because these cards speak about like you don't want to be here 24/7, like just talking about like the waves. You're not always going to be at the peak of the wave, and you're also not always going to be on the hollow of it. So just remembering like life has these ebbs and flows, and you're not going to just be in this moment, and you're also not just going to be at that destination. You're through this whole process, you're through a whole path. So just reminding yourself to not get discouraged if you're not in this moment, and if you are in a really good place in life, to also remember to just enjoy it and remember it, so that when you're not in those moments, you aren't forgetting, one, you're not getting discouraged and forgetting that you're not gonna not have this again. But again, also just understanding this path, these different hills, these different views that you're going through, it's all just a part of life, and understanding that and just being able to go with the flow and understand these different moments, and being able to understand yourself and your own path, so that you're not getting jaded or discouraged if you're not in this point, or when these moments pass by, to also just be able to appreciate wherever you're at on your path. And then for these two cards, this one says, Twin flames, your passion ignites. And this one is friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So with these, I think it helps understanding like aware of your surroundings, being aware of the people in your day-to-day life. Like, people want to be here so badly that they don't think about the everyday people that they were around that have helped them through that. It's just understanding, like, these connections are important for us. These connections help us. They help with our character development, and they also do help give us messages. It's kind of like in video games when you're doing like the character walkthroughs. You're like in a town or something, and you click on a character and they let you know, like, oh, if you go to this location you can find this, or they'll give you side quests. So just understanding that the people all around you in your day-to-day life, they can also have wisdom to offer you, or a lesson that you can learn in order for your personal development and growth. And there could be a need right now for you to connect more with people. Maybe you've been feeling lonely, or just feeling like something's missing, and just taking that time to really pay attention to the people around you and see what they can share with you and what it maybe brings up. Because there's plenty of times where we're so caught up in like going from one place to another that we can kind of ignore the people around us, or not, if they're not like a person we're very close to, it can be easy to just kind of dismiss them. But when you pay attention to people around you, they can bring up things that are synchronicities for you, and they can help you kind of see things a little differently, or add some more thought-provoking knowledge for yourself. Because there would be plenty of times that, even just if I'm at the grocery store and, I'll be like, oh, well, this is just a everyday mundane task I have to do. But then next thing you know, you're talking to the cashier and they're bringing up something that has kind of been in the back of your mind, or is like a synchronicity for you. And just having those little interactions wherever you go can kind of be little like nuggets of wisdom for yourself that you otherwise might not have gotten if you're, again, just too busy focused on like this place or this place, to not focus on the journey itself and the people along the way. So definitely be okay with trying to get to know the people around you, trying to realize that even if it's people that you're not very close to, there is still opportunities to meet someone that can be important in your life. And especially this card talking about nurturing friendships, it's always a good thing to check in on the people we care about, check in on people that we've enjoyed, people that we've known, just to help us out. Because you really don't know when someone can give you some wisdom that you didn't even realize you needed to hear. So just taking that time to help with any friendships, any relationships right now that you're really feeling the need to connect with again, or build a stronger connection with. But that's the message for today, and thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great eclipse and a great day. Thank you.